Yo, 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 and we're back with another live episode of the Ohio Cannabis Report. Welcome back to our whole Ohio Cannabis Report community. Thank you guys for supporting. Thank you to everybody who have subscribed to the channel. Thanks to all of our followers on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. We truly appreciate the support that you guys have been showing over the years, and we appreciate the community that we've been able to build. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. We have two YouTube channels, but make sure you subscribe to both of those YouTube channels because we do have great information, great resources that are a part of both of those platforms. And we're always coming out with new content. We got a lot of things loading coming here in the fall as well. So if you want to stay in touch with all things Ohio cannabis, make sure you tap in with us. Hit the notification bell as well so you know when we go live. I do lives sometimes randomly. I've started doing more lives on Instagram again, but I like to come on YouTube and really share and connect with the community on YouTube. Today, we're just going to do an overview of all the different things happening in the state of cannabis. Obviously, there's been a lot of things happening in Ohio when it comes to cannabis legalization, when it comes to the hemp ban, when it comes to SB 56, when it comes to obviously home grow, craft grow, policies, laws, and things of that nature. Obviously, there's a lot of things going on at the national level as well. And so we're going to touch on all these things today. But before we do that, this is a disclaimer that this is for educational and informational purposes only, entertainment purposes only. I am not a lawyer. I am not a doctor. And so this is an independent media platform that we use to discuss the most recent news topics and things going on in the cannabis space. There is nothing for sale. And so with that being said, let's get it going. So I'm going to share my screen really quick. And we're going to talk about the DEA. This has been something that has been going on for a while. This is the DEA.gov website. This is the first thing on their website. The DEA announces interested parties for upcoming marijuana rescheduling hearing. The hearing on the NPRM is scheduled to commence on June 29, 2026 at 9 a.m., conclude not later than July 15th, 2026. So we'll see if there's more information. On April 28, 2026, the acting attorney general issued a notice of hearing on the notice of proposed rulemaking, NPRM, to transfer marijuana from Schedule 1 to Schedule 3 of the Controlled Substance Act. See Schedules of Controlled Substance, Rescheduling of Marijuana, blah, 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 blah. Schedules of Controlled Substance, Rescheduling of Marijuana, blah, 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 blah. Notice hearing. The notice of hearing provided that every interested party defined in 21 CFR, blah, 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 who wishes to participate in the hearing shall file a written notice of intention to participate in conformity with the requirements. All right, so you have 1, National Drug and Alcohol Screening Association. 2, the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation. 3, Smart Approaches to Marijuana. 4, the state of Nebraska, Idaho, Indiana, and Louisiana. 5, DUID Victim Voices. 6, Kenneth Finn, MD. 7, Philip A. Drum, Farm D. The hearing, so let's see. If you are applying for registration as a medical marijuana dispensary, please use the medical marijuana dispensary. Following Trump's executive order directing the Office of Attorney General to expedite the process of rescheduling medical marijuana to Schedule 3 of the Controlled Substances Act, the U.S. Department of Justice has published the following regulatory actions in the Federal Register. 1, a final rule placing both FDA-approved medical products containing marijuana and medical marijuana products regulated by a state medical marijuana license in Schedule 3. A proposed rule drawing the prior administrative hearing process. 3, a new notice of hearing reinstating the formal evidentiary process required under the CSA. So So yeah, there's obviously a lot going on when it comes to that at the federal level. Again, you see they're talking about medical marijuana, not recreational. I do advocate for people getting their medical card just as a protection um, in a lot of different cases. Um, but I do believe even people using cannabis recreationally oftentimes are using it for medicinal purposes as well. So um, let me know what you guys think in the comments as well. All right, then we're going to change screens. All right, we got pot plant employee accused of pocketing the product. So, security staff at one of Ohio's licensed cannabis facilities say an employee didn't just clock out. He allegedly walked off the job carrying marijuana that never should have left the building. The alleged theft involved 7.5 grams of marijuana flower and was uncovered after security officers noticed suspicious activity outside the facility, according to the report. Then we have Ohio cannabis fraud case highlights industry's regulatory challenges. Cuyahoga County grand jury indicts entrepreneur on 20 felony counts in cannabis candy investment scheme, underscoring compliance risks facing the sector. A Cuyahoga County grand jury has indicted Garrett Fortune on 20 felony counts, including securities fraud, false representation, the theft in connection with an alleged cannabis candy company investment scheme. The 54-year-old entrepreneur faces 6 counts of false representation, 6 counts of securities fraud, 4 counts of theft from protected individuals, and additional charges related to the purported business venture. The indictment reflects broader compliance challenges plaguing the cannabis industry as it transitions from illicit markets to regulated frameworks. Investment fraud cases have emerged across multiple states as entrepreneurs exploit investor enthusiasm for cannabis opportunities while regulatory oversight remains fragmented. The complex patchwork of state-level cannabis laws creates enforcement gaps that bad actors can exploit, particularly in new market like Ohio. Ohio's adult use cannabis market launched in August 2023. Okay, no. Following voter approved issue 2, creating significant investor interest in local cannabis ventures. The state's rapid transition from medical only to full legalization has attracted both legitimate operators and fraudulent schemes, targeting investors seeking early stage opportunities. Multi-state operators like Cresco Labs and Green Thumb Industries have established Ohio operations through proper licensing channels, highlighting the contrast with alleged fraud schemes. The charges against Fortune underscore the importance of due diligence in cannabis investments, particularly for private placement and early stage ventures. Securities fraud in cannabis often involve misrepresenting licensing prospects, inflating market projections, or fabricating operational capabilities. Investors face heightened risk in cannabis due to limited institutional research, coverage, and the industry's regulatory complexity. This case arrives as federal banking restrictions continue limiting traditional oversight mechanisms in cannabis finance. The absence of standard banking relationships forces many legitimate cannabis businesses into cash-heavy operations, while making it easier for fraudulent schemes to operate outside normal financial surveillance systems. As state markets mature and federal policy evolves, stronger regulatory frameworks will likely emerge to protect investors and maintain market integrity across the expanding cannabis sector. Yeah, y'all be safe out there, man. There's a lot going on. It's a lot going on. Then we have OHAA members file lawsuit in response to hemp product ban, Columbus, Ohio. Members of the Ohio Healthy Alternatives Association, OHAA, filed a lawsuit against Governor Mike DeWine and the Ohio Department of Agriculture after the executive order banning intoxicating hemp products was placed. What you need to know, OHAA expects over 20,000 Ohioans will be unemployed as a result of the executive order. OHAA expressed their commitment to finding common ground with lawmakers to avoid a complete ban. On October 8th, DeWine placed an executive order banning intoxicating hemp products in the state of Ohio. Members of the OHAA filed a lawsuit against DeWine to preserve their right to continue serving their communities and keep their businesses open the next day. In 2018, the Farm Bill made these products federally legalized, and dozens of states chose to regulate the industry instead of implementing an outright ban. Hemp products were estimated to be responsible for nearly $3 billion in economic impact for Ohio. The OHAA predicts there will be over 20,000 Ohioans unemployed because of the ban. This could cause a net loss in economic impact and billions in lost wages. There are about nearly 1 million Ohioans who use hemp products for post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, lupus, epilepsy, cancer, and anxiety. The OHAA has worked to represent the industry well, even offering regulatory proposals to the state legislature that would ensure products are only sold to adults 21 years or above. OHAA is committed to finding common ground with lawmakers that would not ban hemp products to avoid eradicating a large Ohio industry. We've talked about the TRO, the temporary restraining order for those 10 cannabis beverage companies. I haven't heard much about that lawsuit yet. I will reach out to one of the people that are a part of that lawsuit, and we'll see if we can get some more information, see if we can get an interview. And go from there. "911 call for 2-year-old ingesting marijuana leads to 2 arrests in Claremont County." Claremont County investigation that began with a 911 call about an unresponsive 2-year-old boy has led to indictments and arrests tied to suspected marijuana cultivation and trafficking at 10:37 a.m. Damn, that was early. On June 19th, the Claremont County Communications Center received a 911 call reporting an unresponsive 2-year-old male in the 2100 block of Laurel Lindale Road in Monroe Township. During the call, 911 call taker overheard information suggesting the child may have ingested marijuana. Deputies with Claremont County Sheriff's Office and Monroe Township EMS then responded to the scene. The child was determined to be in stable, non-life-threatening condition, and was taken to Cincinnati Children's Medical Center for treatment. Medical test results indicated the child tested positive for cannabinoids, which are chemical compounds found in cannabis plants that produce various physical and psychological effects. Detectives from the Sheriff's Office Investigations Division opened an investigation into the circumstances. The child's mother, Brooklyn Maffey, gave a statement saying she was uncertain about the cause of the child's medical condition, but provided investigators information about events and activities prior to the incident. As the investigation continued, detectives identified a residence in the 1100 block of Ivy Farm Way in Pierce Township as the likely location of the incident. Investigators also identified an adult male, William Wilson, who lived at the location and was suspected of cultivating and trafficking marijuana. On June 22nd, detectives with the Sheriff's Office's Investigations Division and Claremont County Narcotics Task Force, assisted by the Pierce Township Police Department, executed a search warrant at the Ivy Farm Way residence. Authorities said they seized $24,600 in cash, 11 firearms, 45 marijuana plants, 12.33 pounds of marijuana flour, 25.48 pounds of mushroom spores, 754.1 grams of THC derivative items, 147 varying types of pills, and items related to cultivation, preparation, and trafficking of marijuana. During the search warrant, authorities said Wilson voluntarily provided a statement to detectives about the incident involving Maffey and her child and acknowledged having direct knowledge of how the child came into contact with the substance. Wilson was taken into Claremont County Jail and charged with one count of having weapons under disability, a third-degree felony, one count of illegal cultivation of marijuana, a fourth-degree felony, and one count of trafficking in drugs, a fifth-degree felony. On June 23rd, Wilson appeared for arraignment before Claremont County Municipal Court Magistrate Matthew Graber and was given a $20,000 cash surety bond. Authorities said Wilson posted bond the same day and was released on reporting bond. After the indictment, Maffey and Wilson were arrested without incident by sheriff's deputy and taken into the Claremont County Jail, where authorities said they will be held without bond. Both are scheduled to appear before Claremont County Common Pleas Judge Jason Nagel on July 1 at 10 a.m. for arraignments on the charges outlined in the indictment. Authorities said the municipal court case involving Wilson will be dismissed because of the indictments. And future proceedings involving Wilson will continue in Claremont County Common Pleas Court. You gotta be smarter than that, bro. Can't be moving at a hot, bruh. Take care of the kids too, man. Take care of the kids. What's that more? Boo 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 boo. Boo 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 doo boo doo. Let's see. Rollout of top cannabis brands means 60 jobs for Greater Cincinnati. Cincinnati, the nation's #1 ranked pre-roll cannabis brand, is making its entry into the Ohio market, and it comes by way of Greater Cincinnati. King City Gardens, the Forest Park-based cannabis cultivator, has secured exclusive rights in the Buckeye State to distribute Jeter, a popular cannabis brand and lifestyle giant known for its premium infused pre-rolls or ready-to-smoke cannabis cigarettes infused with flavors. The deal means dozens of new jobs and a multi-million-dollar investment in the region. Jeter will launch in Ohio in mid-July, starting at King City dispensaries, dubbed the Garden. On July 17th, Kava Azadi, King City Gardens co-founder and managing partner, said the rollout will continue from there. Haven't heard much about Jeter. I know they do some different collabs with athletes and stuff, but Rockford police chase and arrest suspected drug dealer. This is Illinois. The neighbors. Let's see. We do have some updated DCC updates from the Department of Cannabis Control. Last updated June 30th, 2026, 37 cultivators still. These are the same amount of cultivators that when we started for medical. So we need more cultivators. Obviously, they took away Tier 3 craft grow licenses. You have 45 certificates of operations for processors. Testing labs, 6 dispensaries, 219. SB 56 caps dispensaries at 400. Physicians, there are 503 certificates to recommend. Patients and caregivers as of 430. They haven't been updating this because that hasn't been growing. And then you have your sales figures. Total product sales for non-medical, $1,581,842,119 total sales. I did the breakdown of that of 36% for the social equity would have been at $540 million for the social equity program with these sales. That money is now obviously going back to the state, the General Revenue Fund. Then you have medical sales, $2,377,454,506 for a grand total of $3,958,711 or $11,585. Plant sales average per 10th OZ, $18.51. Plant sales average per gram, $6.54. Manufactured sales average $24.64. So that's the latest news going on in Ohio, in and around Ohio. There are a few events coming up, Terps and Tacos in August. There is a Portsmouth, Ohio Cannabis Expo by Anthony Riley and Ohio Cannabis Live. I believe that's towards the end of July. And then there's a lot of, cultural events as well. So make sure you guys tap in with us on Instagram. We usually share a lot of the events and other content on that platform as well. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. Peace.